fascinating $1 million buy-in tournament has captured the poker and gaming world and gaming fans, sports fans throughout the nation and the world. It was quite the international field. And now down to
1.8 is the
a Brit and a USA player, Trickett from Great Britain.
Call.
Antonio with a raise again. Trickett calls for another $1 million. Trickett chipping away. Tray, 9, queen.
Check.
Sam checks. The yellow border around a player's name indicates it is their turn to act. Antonio acts for $2 million.
Call.
And we'll see a turn.
And we can see how, because Antonio's raising pre-flop, how the pots on Antonio's button become much bigger very quickly. Already almost $8 million in this pot.
5 of spades. Trickett checked the flop. Looks like he will not do so here after that 5 comes. He's got stacks of the 250,000 chips and some of the lavender ones worth 100,000.
4.6 is the bet.
4.6 million from Sam Trickett.
There's another unorthodox line here to check, call, and then lead, especially on a completely innocuous looking 5 of spades on this board.
Half the pot.
My sense is that Sam probably has either a draw or a bare queen. I'm not sure if this 5 is likely to help him, but he probably is looking to both get some value out of his hand and then protect it against Antonio checking back and potentially hitting a card to beat Sam, an ace or king, something like that.
Do the tells, as it were, or the actions of an opponent, have you found that they tend to be consistent if you've been playing with them at a final table or for a long time, and then if you're heads up with them, do they tend to change heads up, or can you count on your earlier reads to be true here?
Yeah, I think it depends what you mean by reads. If it's something physical that you can sense, my guess is that they would stay consistent. In terms of like betting patterns or overall styles, I think it really depends. Some people who have a lot more experience heads up will just feel more comfortable and maybe play a slightly different style than they do 5 or 6-handed.
All right, got a big pot brewing. Both put 4.6 million in on the turn. 9 of diamonds now on the river. The pot is 17 million strong. And
there were a number of interesting cards that could come on the river. I think the 9 of diamonds definitely qualifies as one of those. Then there could be a 9 theoretically in either of these players' hands.
The last real big clash heads up. They both had the same hand. It was the first hand of heads up.
And they both had 3 of a kind.
Well, Trickett checked the flop, bet big on the turn, and each has called the other's bet, which got us to this point with 17 million in the middle.
Now, one type of hand that Sam could have had would be a hand like 7-8 of clubs or 7-6 of clubs, a hand that had just a flush draw on the flop, turned a straight draw, and didn't want to be out of position playing passively, so tried to take the betting initiative. Check. And now has given up because he doesn't think that he can credibly represent anything.
A check from Sam Trickett.
I think if Antonio had a queen, like queen 10 here, I don't think it makes a lot of sense to bet. I just don't think there's a ton of value that you can get from Sam. If you have a 9, or let's say a hand like, you know, king 10 or jack 10, you might want to bluff those hands. You might want to bet those hands, a 9 for value, and then obviously the other hands to try to bluff. I'm not sure I would even bet king high here, though, because I'm not sure Sam is going to fold too many worse hands.
A little of this.
7.5 is the bet.
A lot of that. 7.5 million.
Instantly calls.
Wow.
Sam does.
Is there a 9? 3 9s for Antonio. Queen 10 for Trickett. Antonio Esfandiari with a huge river card. Again.